Welcome. I had a bird flying around my house. I let the windows open for like 5 minutes and had a fucking bird fly in. And to be honest, I don't even know. It might still be in here. I'm not quite sure. The bird still might be in here. I had all the windows open. But if you see a bird fly around the house, just keep in mind that, yeah. What? But we are making some food today. Let me see. Cats are gonna be over here waiting. What? So we need some garlic. Got a green pepper. We got 4 eggs. Should have got more eggs when I was at the store. We got some salads. And I don't know if you guys like these different types of salads, but using this type of salad. Got our cheese. Carrot. Sour cream. All right. So we got a little bit of everything. I don't know if there's still this bird. I had a bird fly in my house like literally 10 minutes ago, and I don't know if it's still in here. I hope it's still not in here. I got my cat. She's over here being lazy as shit. I open up the windows. It's 70 to first off. It's 70 degrees right now in Pittsburgh, and I open up the windows, and the damn bird flies right in. Like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of me opening up the door. And my cat sitting there sleeping, watching the damn thing. I'm like, oh my god. So, if you see me freak out, it's because, and if you see a bird behind me, let me know. But, either way, let's start making some food. So, I usually do these live streams and I'm at my client's house cooking. But today I figured I got some time. Why not cook here? Because I have to meal prep. So, why don't I show you guys what I eat? And yeah, well, we can kind of go from there. So first things first is we are doing some breakfast burritos because I find that they hopefully my girlfriend left me some foil. All right, so I do got some foil, so that's a plus. So we're gonna do some egg sandwiches. We got some breakfast burritos that are like literally gonna take us 5-10 minutes. I got some salads that I'm gonna prep, and just showing you guys how easy it is to make some meal prep. And you know, eating healthy doesn't have to be hard. So I could sit here and talk about this shit all day long, but let's get started. So first things first, you gotta chop your vegetables, right? So making sure you get yourself a nice sharp knife. And I am using red onions, and it's right over the head. So I like for my breakfast burritos, a little bit of red onion, a little bit of green pepper. So first things first, you know how I like to slice these. You get both edges, cut them right in half. Give us our 2 half moons. And me personally, I'm not gonna dice these. I'm gonna keep them sliced because this onion is like very small. And let me know in the chat if you like red onions or white onions better. I think I like red onions better because they just taste better. But same concept, right? Is that you're using your fingers as a guide. And to be honest, I could probably chop my hand off because this knife is dull as shit right now. But you're using your fingers as a guide, and you can make these perfect. I mean, look, come on now. No need for a mandolin when you trust yourself cutting an onion. Alright, when I cut these peppers, I will have to get something different because that is dull. Where's my steel? It's wild. I cook in so many different people's houses that whenever I cook in my own house, I'm like, I don't even know where half of my shit is because it's always scrambled around everybody else's stuff. So first things first, we have our onions. We're doing a nice little green pepper I got from the store. These fucking peppers, man, they are expensive anymore. I'll tell you what. I think this was like $3, $2.50. So you remember, you cut off the sides, and then you slice one down, slice the other down, slice the other down, slice the other down, and bada bing, look. Keeps all of your seeds. And if you remember, this was a short that I made a little while ago. Keeps all the seeds. And some people yelled at me and said that's a waste of pepper, but whatever. But the best part about this is like some people, you see that, the membrane, it allows you, if you have a sharp enough knife, to kind of just slice that stuff right off. And so if you're doing any type of slice and any type of julienne, it makes it that much easier. Now, do you have to do this? No. Can you cook it and eat it without slicing off the membrane? Yes. I just find it to be, I don't know, a little bit better. But again, same thing, using your knuckles, you're sliding yourself all the way down. Nice julienne. I'm probably not going to use all of these, and I don't know how great this sounds, so I won't try to chop it too much. But using about, yeah, onions, peppers, and I'll save the rest of this for later on for the salad that we're going to use. So green peppers. Actually, I probably should save a little bit of these onions for the salads that we're going to make too. So there's our salad. And so first things first, now that we always got the veggies, and I always find that it's important, anytime you're doing meal prep or anytime you're doing cooking in general, is to make sure you get all of your ingredients first, right? You don't want to, and that's why people always say, oh, meal prep and all this other stuff, it takes forever to do this shit. Nick, you're crazy. What's crazy is that you're always going back and in and out of your fridge for your stuff. That's what's causing you a lot of time. If you could bring all of your stuff, have it already centered here, you're ready to rock and roll. So let me move my girlfriend's little coverings. I don't know why she does this, but whatever. And then now let's get our pans. So these pans, I like these. I don't know if you ever use these, but this little spot right here turns red when the pan's hot. Not that you can't really like touch it yourself and figure it out for your damn self, but I thought that was kind of cool. I'll bring this over here now that I'm looking so you guys can see what's going on. Actually, what I need to do is get like a camera that's like pointing down. Maybe next time I'll think of how to actually do these live streams and continue doing that. But first things first, and anytime you're cooking meat with a veggie, it's important that you don't cook the meat and the veggies together, right? A lot of times people always do that, right? They always want to get the pan hot, throw the veggies in there, throw the meat in there, and you realize that it takes longer for the meat to cook than the vegetables. So the best way to do it, and this is like a taco tip for you, always brown the meat first and then throw your vegetables in there. And the reason being is, especially if you have extra, grease or something that you're draining, if you have the veggies in there, what you're going to do is you're actually going to end up throwing away a lot of that flavor that's already in there. So brown your meat first, and then throw your veggies. So I got the pan heating up a little bit. I like using this Bob Evans sausage. Holy hell, my knives are dull as shit anymore. So I'm going about, since I got, what, 4 eggs, I'm going to use probably about 1/3 cup, 1/4 cup. And this should make us about 4 to 5 of these breakfast burritos. And again, when you're meal prepping, you got to think, you're not looking to meal prep like 7, 8 days, 9, 10 days. A lot of times when I'm watching these YouTube meal prep videos, these people are making way too much damn food, and you know that shit's nasty by the end of the week. And don't even try to lie and say it's not, because I've seen some of these meal preps that people do. I mean, you guys I'll get 200,000 views, and I'm just jealous. No, but the food's nasty. By the end of that 7th day, you know that shit's gross. And they don't teach you proper food handling. So I just touched ground meat, right? Or raw meat. Now, am I going to go and touch the vegetables right now? No. Do I want to get sick? No. So I got to wash my hands. And that's important to make sure that you're doing that, is wash your damn hands when you're touching different types of meat and vegetables. A lot of times people will wonder, why did my stuff get sick? Or why did I get sick? Or why'd that go bad so quick? A lot of times people don't realize is that it's because you're cross-contaminating everything. You chop meat, you open up your Bob Evans sausage with your knife, and then you go and cut a pepper and an onion, and the next thing you know, fucking shit your brains out. Don't do that. So I'm gonna wash my hands. It might be a little annoying. And I appreciate somebody said that they caught my stream. They couldn't catch a stream, so I appreciate it for coming in here and hanging around. You know, I'm still learning how to do these live stream things. I don't know. My client, he just got me. He's a streamer on Twitch, and he just got me a nice microphone, a 4K webcam. I'm like, my laptop will not be able to handle that at all, to say the least. But now that you can hear the little bit of sizzle, being that we're cooking sausage, and this is something to think of too. Sausage is high fat. Well, I like sausage, it tastes good. But since sausage is high fat, you don't need to throw a whole bunch of olive oil, butter, etc. in there, because you're gonna be cooking it out, right? But you don't want it to burn. So I always like to just throw just a little bit of drizzle of olive oil on there. And one of my, I don't know if you call me crazy, but I always like to smash this down first. Let it get a little brown and then start chopping it. So let me show you, what the hell did my girlfriend do? She cleaned this kitchen. And now I can't find anything. Let me show you. So I'm making like a nice little, oh, that's zoomed in. Holy hell. But you can see what I got over here. I got some chilies, I got some carrots, these little free eggs right here. I don't know if you guys have ever had the happy eggs, but wait till I show you the yolks in this thing. They are like the orangest yolks you'll ever see. So I have this cooking. I'm going to flip it. And that's whenever I start to necessarily, I don't know, mince the meat, dice the meat. But I don't like to just start beating the hell out of it all at first. I like to let it go in a little bit of chunks. Turn the heat down. And actually, one of the things that you should do with sausage, and being that I'm just doing a whole bunch of other stuff and doing a live stream, would be cover it. A lot of times when you're cooking sausage links, if you were to add a little bit of water and cover it, it actually cooks the whole sausage link internally and externally. So a lot of times when people cook sausages, they cook it so high that you end up burning the link at one side, and then you cut it in half with your breakfast and it's still pink in the middle. It's because you just scorched it. And so, yeah, maybe that's a whole nother thing. I'm getting off track, but I'm still looking out for this bird that was flying around my house. Cat, did you get the bird? I don't know if you've ever seen my cat. Come on. Oh, sit there. No, this isn't for you. Look at her. This is a diabetic cat who will eat all of our food if we're not cautious. And being, since I was just bitching about food safety, I gotta wash my hands. Alright, so, touch the cat, gotta wash my hands. So, here we are. Now that we got this kind of brown, let's see if you can see this. See how it's still a little pink, but it's still what we want. This is when I'm going to throw the veggies in. So I'm going to throw these green peppers. I'm going to throw these onions. And I'm actually going to just kind of smash that together, do a nice little chopperoo. And the thing is I'm not trying to break up the green peppers, or am I trying to break up the onions? Because I kind of want this somewhat thick. I'm going to turn the heat down. All right. And so now let's get the eggs. So one of the best things about eggs is that it's high in protein. Now, a lot of times people don't like eggs. They'll say, oh, they get a bad rap because of cholesterol. Well, they're high in cholesterol. Well, the thing is in order for cells to be cells, you need cholesterol to make them. And one of my favorite eggs, these free-range happy eggs. So, think about it though. One of these eggs, 6 grams of protein, 70 calories. You're really not going to get that anywhere else. But you got to crack it with one hand. So, I'm going to crack it on the counter. Can you crack it with one hand without getting shells involved? See how I did that? Thumb, 2 fingers. We'll do it again. Watch. We got 2 more. Now, if you didn't get it this time, not that I think any of you guys are cooking with me right now, but oh, that's not gonna work. So it's really, now that I think about this, I push my middle finger in, and then almost like, actually I never really thought about breaking down the technique for a one-handed egg crack. Holy shit! All right. So let's break this down here. So you smash it on the table. You have your middle finger here and your pointer finger, and you're breaking it in half. But then with your pointer finger and your thumb, you're really just holding the other side. And it's like, I don't know, that's confusing. Don't follow what I just said. But again, wash your hands. All right, so we got 4 eggs in there. We got the sausage and the peppers just burning away. Or not. Because I turned the heat down. So, please. Oh, what are you up? Flosse? Is that? I couldn't even see. I saw your name. I'll be in the middle of the grind cooking. Let me see. I'm gonna get a shout out. I gotta see the live chat. I didn't even see anybody come up here. Rose and emojis. Oh, I love emojis and Rose. Is it Rose or is it Rose? I'm curious. Oh, you're making mashed potatoes right now. Hey, I love your videos. Oh man, you know what? That's so nice of you. I always do these live streams because I make these videos. My content's all over the place, right? So it's a ankle recovery. I'm an online trainer. I make videos of yoga, Pilates, shorts. I don't even know what I'm doing. But the reality is I just want to help people, right? And I know that there's so many different areas that I do that with my in-person clients that it's like, if I could somehow do that online and be able to bring some positivity, that's really why I'm here. But showing people to cook, right? I think cooking is the thing that kind of got me to where I am. I was a sous chef for 6 years at a restaurant in Pittsburgh. That was a well-known restaurant. And the thing is I loved it because of the community aspect that it brought, right? I mean, I don't look, maybe I'm too on horn, but I don't look 34. I'm turning 34. But the thing about it is that in the last 10, 15 years, you start to know and respect the community that is cooking, whether it be the people up front, the front of the house, the back of the house. I mean, so much of who I am today is based upon the people that I met in the industry, and I think that I think a lot of people could say that about maybe their workplaces, unless you really hate what you do, but that's besides the point. But yeah, let's get these eggs. So let me show you these orange. Oh, I'm gonna spill this. So never mind. I'm not gonna show you the eggs, but I will show you the hack that I like to do with sour cream. So again, I'm a fat ass, and even though the Healthy Yinzer, this is the Healthy Yinzer channel, I still like to eat. So I always use a dabble of sour cream in my eggs. Why? I don't know. It makes it creamier, and I guess we'll find out when we make these burritos. But it's important that you mix it together in the bowl. And it's just like almost whenever you're doing, you're adding cream, milk, I would say, to your eggs. This is just a different aspect. So get some air in there, get some salt and pepper. Now, how do you guys like your eggs? Do you do scrambled? Do you do over easy? Do you do hard boiled? Rose, how do you like your eggs? Oh, you see, I did a little crushed pepper flakes in there as well. I wish they could keep this chat on the whole time in the corner. Maybe that's probably something I'd have to do. How's the ankle? Well, the ankle's been good, I would say. Actually, I wouldn't say it's been good. It's got 14, 15 screws in it. But the thing is like even today, it's 60 degrees in Pittsburgh, and you could feel the difference. And I don't know if anybody else with the ankle injuries can reference this, is that when it's cold, it's stiff as shit, right? But when it's warm, it's more mobile. Like you feel better. Like I woke up today doing my yoga, and I was like, holy hell. Like my heel was touching the ground for a change, and I said, damn. This is the first time in a while that I felt this. But let me bring you over here now that I'm about to make this. So here we are. Look at that beautiful peppers, onions, sausage. So yeah, I'm able to squat with weights. But the thing, what's really funny though, it's funny you say that, is that I was never really the person. I mean, I'm 175 pounds, right? I was never really the dude who was ever putting up heavy weight on my back. And one of the main reasons is because like I've always had back pain. And the thing with back squats, like I always like more traditional trap bar squats and lifts, but I always like front squats only because everything that I always did athletically, whether it be rotational, whether it be playing hockey, tennis, whatever it may be, everything was always in the front. It like having, and the more research I've done as in college, was having the back was like squatting from the back was never, it's not really a fundamental movement unless that's something you do, right? More times out of 10, we're grabbing shit like this and walking, or grabbing something like this and walking. And so I've always kind of just done that. I think the highest I've gotten up to right now, I just did hang cleans earlier this morning, and it was 150, and it hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't that I couldn't clean it. It was the fact that the power out of my left leg, I could feel that I was compensating. I wasn't trying to use my left leg at all. I was cleaning all the power out of my right leg, and yeah, probably not best to go heavy. And that's the thing that sucks about having this ankle injury, is the fact that it's all a learning experience too, right? Ooh, I like this actually, this camera right here. This is nice. So it's all a learning experience because when it comes down to it, we're always going to think, especially with the ankle, is that we're always going to think that it's a limiting factor, right? You're never going to be able to run again. You're never going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. But that is the shit that we put in our head. Like, granted, yeah, it's going to be tough, but we're psychologically doing that to ourselves. And I think once you can realize that and then go and try to, like, not necessarily push yourself, but push it to the point where you can kind of make that cognitive decision of like, holy shit, I did it. That's whenever you see the real growth. At least it did for me, because like it took me I want to say years. It took me months to get to the gym, and like after my ankle broke, and then I realized, I was like, you know what? I've been just holding back on my own. Like it's been myself, my own inner self-talk that was not allowing me to go here, because I'm able to do the things that I want to do. I'm able to do these different types of mechanics. I'm able to do this stuff, and I think once you cognitively put yourself through that position, put yourself in the ways that are uncomfortable, it's the only way you can really see any true growth, right? It's like if you don't go through, it's actually one of the, oh shit. Well then, buddy. Yeah, that's gonna suck. 500 pounds, you're a fucking animal. 500 pounds on the bar, holy shit, man. How'd you break your ankle? I think the highest I ever got was 200, and that was like working sets of 3, 4, and I was like, I couldn't walk for fucking weeks after that. Damn, 500 plus pounds. But you got to think of it too, right? Like, depending on how old you are, and depending like were you doing, like, are you a power lifter or whatnot, you got to think, was it Duke wrestling? Fuck, man, that sucks. The old like Connor can kind of roll up on the leg. But wrestling, I guess you do need the power out of the legs. I mean, really, it comes down to one thing, right? And that's what I said in a lot of my videos, is like, it comes down to your why. Like, you'll get back and do some of the things that you want to do, but of course things are going to be a lot different. I mean, I wouldn't squat 500 pounds on a broken ankle, just because it just doesn't really make sense, right? It doesn't really fall in line to the goals that you're going to want to attain, because in reality, let's face it, all the goals are going to be different. Everything's going to be different. Everything's different now. Like me, I want to play hockey. I was good. I was fast. I was fastest. I was, and the thing is I know that's out of the realm, unfortunately. I think later, like when the weather starts getting warm, I'm going to try to see if I can do some stick handling, like on the little outdoor rinks. Just again, kind of like what we were talking about, is to have that psychological thing to tell myself, like, okay, like I could still do this. Not as like something like, shit, I wish I could. I want to do this, but I can't anymore. Like, because in reality, all that stuff, it's all mindset. It's all the fucking mindset. And I think that's like that's always the hardest thing to think of too, right? It's like when you're trying to get back into, or when something, what was that thought? When something that you have is taken away from you, something that you love to do, and then now you got to go through this whole new normal of figuring out how and why did this happen to me? Like, why did this happen to me? Why was it? Was it my fault? Did I do something to the universe? In reality, it's just only, you got to think, a lot of times setbacks are only ways to make you really set up for stronger comebacks. That's the way I always look at it. It's like you need to go through some sort of adversity in order to find out who you truly are as a person. Granted, is it an ankle break? Probably not. Is it losing a match? In wrestling? Possibly. But it's like, I always find that you got to go through some shit to realize that there's something on the other side, right? There's something waiting for you, you know? Like, I take it as a blessing in disguise. Like, I would have never known I'd be able to help out people go through some shit, and you know, on YouTube, out of all places, you know, when I turned to the YouTube community and started, you know, answering people's questions, meeting people like yourself, being able to talk through shit like this. And I think a lot of times people don't realize it's like, yeah, right. No, I didn't. They wanted me to have hardware removed, but when I did the research of it, and I don't know if you have the screw that goes all the way through. Well, not like that, but if you have the screw that goes all the way through your tibia and your fibula, but that's what I have. A couple of the other people who've messaged me through like Instagram, they told me that they have the tightrope, and personally, I don't like the fucking tightrope. I didn't like the research I saw on the tightrope. If you're somebody who's active and doing things, the research that showed was, if you get the tightrope, it's basically what they give to older ladies, and then like the older ladies, older men. And the thing about that is like, it's because they're not doing much, right? So they said if we screw this together, it's gonna break in your leg, but it's gonna hold up more. I said, all right, well, fucking screw it in, you know. But they said, well, all right, well, we could take it out. I said, I don't want you to take it out, because then you have to go through the whole surgery and the whole thing again. I don't want to go through a whole recovery process of like, that's just not something I want to do. And to be honest, now and the way that I looked at it too was like, if you go back under the knife, now you're looking at another set of complications, right? Because now you're giving a more chance for something bad to happen, whether it be an infection, whether it be a fuck up from the surgeon, whether it be something, you know, along those lines. And I'm like, look, I'm not going down that route. I feel good the way I am. Well, I didn't, and I still don't, but that's just part of the process, right? That's just part of the new normal that I think we got to live with. It sucks, but what are you gonna do, right? That's and the thing is too is like, you got to make sure you got the recovery process under, like, because like workouts, it's not about just scheduling your workouts, leg day, arm day, fucking shoulders, biceps, triceps. Every one of my training session now, I have to do at least 10 to 15 minutes of like specific ankle mobility workouts. I mean, it's still dynamic warm-ups, but like more about like lifting triple extension into the ankle, because you want to warm up the plantar and the dorsiflexion. You want to warm up the calves, because if you go in there cold, it's not like, are you going to risk injury from that aspect? You're going to risk injury in the joint, you know, that's surgically repaired. And I think that that's something you have to consider. Is that like, it's not about doing the specific days anymore. We're past that. It's like, you always got to think about some sort of ankle, some sort of exercise, like going up the steps. This shit's taking forever. I ain't gonna lie. This is the longest fucking eggs I've ever cooked in my life. But it's like, when you're going up and down steps, maybe you're doing calf raises. When you're going down the steps, maybe you're doing, you know, those are the simple things that you have to think about doing. Let's see this. We got. See how long this is taking? This shit's taking forever. Cat, what are you doing? What? Oh, fuck. Now, do you meal prep any food or anything? Do you do any meal prep? Do you... What's your diet looking like? especially now that you're broken. You have somebody, you're doing a lot of ordering out, you're doing a lot of DoorDash. So I know for me, being that I like cooking, there's no way you could cook anymore, right? You get yourself hurt, injured, you ain't standing. I was in a wheelchair trying to cook my food. But luckily I had my girlfriend. So, we have that. Got some tortilla shells. Alright, so how do you guys make your breakfast burritos? Do you do salsa? Do you do ketchup? What's the game plan? Let me bring this back over here. So now, it doesn't even show. I'm doing this on my, there we go. Doing this on my iPad. Perfect. Little Mexican style cheese. I made these for my client in the summer, one of my NHL clients that I prepped for. And he said that this is single-handedly the best thing that he ate every morning to get him towards his goals. I said, all right. He said, if I didn't have one of your burritos in the morning, I'd be fucked. I said, well, you made it to the All-Star game this year, so it wasn't like you did too bad. I always like throwing that cheese in at the end, right? Because you can see it melts with all the hot. So we got 4 eggs, 1/3 cup of sausage, some onions, some peppers, and we got breakfast burritos as a meal prep. So I thought these were the smaller burritos, but now I'm realized that I'm gonna have to fucking make these massive. I was planning on making this for like 4 days, but now it's looking like I got 2 days of breakfast burritos. All right. So now that we got that under control, it's all about the wrap. So I don't know how you guys do this, but you do here, and then here, and then you fold it all the way over, and then you wrap it around. Let's do that again. So you do this here, all the way around, tuck it, make sure the edges are in. Guess I could have done a better tuck job. Damn, my tucks. There it is. Don't tell anybody. All right, so that's that. Those are breakfast burritos. But it's important. How the hell did I get food service film? Whatever. That now you gotta wrap them in foil. Because the foil is what's going to keep them fresh. Now, some people might not like foil, but this is an important part because when you heat it up in the morning, all you got to do is heat up the oven and just toss this whole thing in there, right? So it makes it that much easier. Oh, shit, I'm not putting that in. And if you do these You can put this in the oven when you wake up, get your coffee going, do your stuff, set it for 10-15 minutes. Your breakfast is already done. Can't beat that, right? So, we got our little breakfast burritos done. Now we got to get the salads. So, I don't know how you guys like doing salads or meal prepping salads, but one of the things that I find to be most convenient are these little salad kits, right? The reason being is because you don't have all that fucking salad dying in your fridge. So I like using this, doing these little containers. You could always, I think I just have so many of these containers, not necessarily from takeout, but whenever I was doing this cooking event, so I said, you know what? These are going to be my meal prep containers. So, and I find that if I don't use the meal prep, the salads, I'll never fucking eat them. But if I have them, I'll be more inclined to eat them. If all I got to do is just open up a lid, it takes the decision away from it, right? And I think that's in everything in life. If we can just take the decision away from all the shit that we know we need to do and just do it, how much better off we'd be as people. So I'm going green pepper. So remember, we used some of these green peppers. And then now, I'm throwing those in there. I'm going to throw some of these red onions on top. And one thing people get messed up about doing salads is the fact that you never throw croutons. You never throw like the seeds, the nuts. You never throw any of that shit. Cat almost just killed you. Because if you put it in the fridge, it's going to get soggy. And you don't want soggy ass croutons. There's nothing worse than soggy croutons. Let's be real. Now that I'm making this, I am starting to get hungry for my own right. Unfortunately, I don't have any more eggs. Shit. Should have thought of that. Well, let's finish these salads up. Cat, get out of here. You just ate and now you're over here yelling at me for food. What? But then we'll throw a little bit of these carrots, matchstick carrots. They were on sale. A little bit of carrots. But again, this forces me to eat vegetables, right? If you meal prep the salad, you'll be more inclined to eat what you're making. And you always gotta throw a little bit of cheese on top too, right? A little bit of cheese, a little bit of cheese. And I mean, really, it's as simple as that when it comes down to it. Ooh. Looks like I'll make these. Got some bagels in here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use some of that sausage. All right, so we're almost done with these salads, though. So I always like to do a little bit of pepper on my salad. Call me crazy, but a little bit of pepper goes a long way. So now that we have that, look, nice little fucking simple side salad, right? So when you're thinking, oh shit, I don't have anything to eat, you can always open one of these up, throw a little bit of your dressing on top. You never obviously make this with dressing, but also good sides. So say you're cooking dinner, you need a quick side, you got your salads. Right now we got the salads down. And I would say, like, really, these are only going to last, what, 3 days? That's the bad part. That's why I always suggest for some of my clients, whenever they hire me, oh, Nick, I need 5 days worth of food. I'm like, really, you need to see me twice in a week. That's how that would be most effective. And it's most effective for me because they're paying for it. Ain't that right, kitty? All right. I guess I don't need the fusion. What are you doing? My cat's over here crumbing. All right. Where's my other pan? And where are we at here? Did I miss anything in the chat as I'm going on? Live chat. Now, how we doing? How you eat steaks? What do you eat steaks and veggies all day? The lady takes care of it. Oh shit! Look at that. See, that's honestly my girlfriend. She did all of my, a lot of my cooking, and honestly, I never felt so helpless in my life as I did having that ankle break, and then seeing all the shit that she had to do to step up. A lot of times, people would leave you in that situation. Be like, you know what? I can't deal with this shit. You want me to do what? But that also shows you got a real one too, right? Because a lot of times, it's like, would it be better? No. Cat, get out of here. Go. I think a lot of times too, what people don't realize, especially when they start getting into different types of meal prepping and cooking and all that other stuff, is that it takes time. So right now we've been live for 45 minutes and we've already cooked the breakfast burritos. We've already got the salads down. So we have lunch and a breakfast done. And then now we're working on ourselves. So I think a lot of times when people think, oh, meal prep is so hard, it's so difficult, I think it's as difficult as we make it to be, right? Is like, are you running around back and forth in and out of the fridge? Do you not know how to cook? Do you not know how to utilize these different things? Like, do you not know how to utilize time at your disposal? And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that we have. And especially I've seen it in the kitchen. I got guys, whenever I was working in the kitchen, I'd have some of the line cooks. They'd go to the cooler, which is 100 feet away from them, and they would grab one thing at a time for a recipe. All right, so I'm going to grab a can of tomatoes. All right, I'm going to put it here. Oh, shit, I have to grab this. And then they go over here, grab that. They could have had half of the recipe done by the time if they would have just grabbed all of the shit at once and brought it to their table. And that's the same thing we got to think of whenever we cook at our house. If we're making a recipe, gather all the ingredients first and then start cooking the recipe. Don't say, all right, this is the recipe we got. What do we got to get? Okay, let me go over here. Then this is burning. That's burning. There's one thing we can get from this live stream today is, remember, gather all the ingredients at once. Yeah, that's my words to live by today. Gather everything at once. Oh shit! Let me get you over here. You see this orchid that I bought for my girlfriend? They spray painted that color. Isn't that fucked up? I was like, oh, that's a nice color. They fucking spray painted it. I'm like, that is so... That's how they doing us now. They spray paint flowers for our women. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is I'm making this sausage today because I am fucking starving. One thing people don't realize with bagels, 10 grams of protein, and I'll be passed out in probably an hour. I don't eat a lot of bagels. The only time I really like eating a bagel or anything real carb-based like this is after a workout. Like if I didn't work out that day, like I can't really justify this. But if I work out, I'm like, okay. Now, is that an eating disorder? I don't think so. But the reason I always do that is because of the carbohydrates, right? When we're cat, I swear to God. Look at this fucking. I don't know if you can see her. Yeah, come on here and get burned. I dare you. I dare you. This cat, literally the bane of my existence. What are you doing? Get out of here. No. Get down. Get down. Down. Fucking Christ. So the cat has diabetes, and I'm allergic to cats. And she comes in one day as I was working at the restaurant. Thought it was a raccoon. Almost kicked her halfway down my steps. Come to find out, it was a baby cat. Felt bad. Gave her some milk, and she never left. Ain't that right? Gave you that milk, and you never left. It's like a crackhead. She got one hit, and she never fucking left. And unfortunately, now I'm stuck with her. And then she gets diabetes 6 years, 7 years later, and now I'm having to stab her with insulin. It's like, I'm allergic to this cat. Ain't that right? Fuck. And then now she found out that with diabetes, just like humans, you're hungry all the damn time. And then she realized, oh, that stuff that you've been cooking all these years actually tastes pretty good. So every time I'm cooking, she is right up in my shit. So you see how I cook this sausage? So brown it on one side. This is what I was talking about earlier. Cook it on one side. Add a little water. And put a lid over top of it. Turn it down, because then now the steam is actually going to help cook the inside of the sausage. You can save that hack for later. Bingo. But I got these two little mini bagels. Now, do you guys use a toaster oven or do you use a toaster? What's the consensus on that? Toaster oven or toaster? Alright, I think that's... And luckily I still have a couple of these peppers. So I'm just going to make a little Southwest bagel. Wish I had egg. Went shopping. You guys ever do that? You go shopping, then you realize you forget half of the shit that you actually went to the store with in the first place, and then you come to find out that you needed something and you forgot it. Something essential as eggs, for instance. Yeah. That. Ain't that right, kitty? You got that. We got our, and right now, like these are, I would say, hey, if you can feel these, they're still a little warm. And I really want to put these into the freezer until they've come down a little bit more out of temp. Let's see where this is at. I don't know if you guys can do this, but you touch it to see if it's done. Now, I would say that needs probably 2 more minutes, but I'm kind of curious to see what the temperature says. So just like all pork, you go 160. Where are we at? 130. 130. So that is still raw. I don't know. Do you guys use a digital thermometer for your cooking? Find like when you're cooking meats, I actually have one of those meters. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or seen that. It's called the Meter Pro. It's a wireless digital. I think I made a short on it, but it's a wireless digital thermometer, and it's literally cheating. Like if you got a grill, or if like you're at a party or you're doing something, you throw that thing in there, put it in your meat, set it, forget it. It sets it on your phone, tells you when it's ready, tells you when to flip it. I mean, it was amazing. It actually cooked this pork loin better than I probably would have, because I probably would have kept it in there for another 5 to 10 minutes. And for when it told me to pull it out, I was like, I don't know. After chopping it, eating it, I was like, holy shit, I gotta cook pork to this temperature every time. So let's get this going. Oh, I got a nice little sun going over here. All right, so I got these little fucking bagel. They look like bagel bites. Get our little bagel bites. Got this sausage that still probably not done. $140. Alright, so we'll keep that covered. We'll turn the heat off. Now let's assemble this thing. So, how I'm going to do this, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but this was an old thing we used to do at school whenever I went, before they kicked me out, was you do cream cheese on the bagel. You do cream cheese on the bagel, on the bottom. And that's the top. Fuck. Oh, I got 2 tops? You do a little cream cheese on the bottom. Little peppers and onions on the bottom. Got any more? That on top. Boom. Now we got the sausage. Take that off, let that rest. And being that these are little bagel minis, right? I'm cutting this thing in half, and let's see, am I correct? Is it raw or is it done in the middle? Ow, maybe that's hot as hell. Wow. See? Look at that. Fits it right in half. Now, the issue is, what side do you flip it? Do you go this side? That's how we'll do it. Flip it, bada bing, bada boom. Now we got bite-sized, slippery fucking sausages. But that's one of my favorites right here. Actually, I would throw some cheese on here, but I think it's a little too late. Actually, it's never too late for cheese. What are you talking about? Cheddar cheese on top. Actually, let's put it at the bottom. Fuck it. There we go. Now we mean business. Bagel bites. Start putting this shit away. See? And look at that. In less than an hour, I was able to get my meal prep done. You can't beat that, right? Especially when you're trying to get shit done around the house. You're trying to get shit ready to rock and roll. Sometimes it's the little things. You take those little things at a time. Oh, I guess, oh look, it's 1 minute. So, made myself lunch, made myself meal prep, be able to talk with you guys, talk to myself. Apparently that bird is actually not in my house. So, that is fucking great. That is very convenient. But, alright, well let me go eat some food and, edit the rest of this video about my ankle and the first time walking, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream. So I thank you for joining, and oh shit, I'll see you on the next time.